from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Trey Lance and the San Francisco 49ers.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Play action, now it's Lance. Sliding out of the pocket. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Lance looking to throw it. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Lance. They'll roll him out, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Isaiah Simmons able to run him down for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Another try after the first down sack. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And he's going to go down again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And for all the collegiate success he had, highest passer efficiency rating by a mile, he's a guy who's had his share of detractors at the professional level, but I do like his poise, I do like his moxie, and I love his accuracy.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. they scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here's Lance. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Isaiah Simmons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's Jamie Gillen down as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. A big play there for the Dolphins.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover and put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Fielded just inside the 30. Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, and if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd down now, Singleton. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down in distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think of, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other side.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on first down is Lance. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And the pressure gets to him again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Here's Jamie Gillen now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at the 43. Nice little juke. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember their last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And to give this time to the tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Mullins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine, around here when you're guarding your end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll look to set up his blockers. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Tua now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he'll take this one down to about the 40. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Dolphins can't convert on 4th down, and the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. From the 44, Lance. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off near the 44. But he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at about the 28. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second. Down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson. That is caught by Cohen. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Richardson going up top. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Trey Lance of the 49ers set to go back on offense here. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And he fields it cleanly. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Richardson. Incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Second and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Dolphins on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Richardson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And a high throw there as this is knocked away. Down to the ground and incomplete. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Watch the backfield. Hey, watch 16, boys. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go. Trap 60. 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike.
Looking to throw. Richardson over the middle, complete. It's Cohen. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find.
That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Trey Lance and the 49ers set to go back on offense here. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Get ready. Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Working from the gun, Lance. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Lance going to try and throw on third down here. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin in the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Jordan Love has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they trail the visiting LA Rams as that one's gone to the intermission. Cam Akers, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Nice 22, nice 22. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Ingram. Oh, good move. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Ingram. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here. 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Lance. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with the throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On first down, Singleton. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run the counter. It's Mullins, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Ingram. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run on first down. Singleton. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On third down, Mullins, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partners. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lance. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. On 1st down, Singleton. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down. Coming up.
Brandon. Gotta think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. With a 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins are on their way to a 2-0 start. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So they will accept the... penalty and move forward. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And his throw here's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Niners on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. This is taken around the 12. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin. Offense now as they get set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Check 26, check 26.
They'll run on first down. It's Blake, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Brandon, you know, we talked about having wrinkles in a game plan. That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball? And in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Back. He's coming. Double up. He's coming, double up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Minus 57. 57's mine. Watch the run.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Bandit. 57's the mic. Mark 57.
Richardson now to throw on 3rd down. The kicker here, it's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And Lance's throw pulled in by Kittle. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here's Lance to throw it. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Lance now on 1st down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you use the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton, and this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 109 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.